Hello and welcome to this tutorial about WebgeTech demo site installation. We are going to see how to install the demo site easily. There are also other options available to export your own data and create your own installer for WebgeTech theme. This is important if you need different versions like the development version, the test version, or the production version. We will see these options in a later tutorial. Now let's start with a scheme that presents what's possible to do with the installer. With WebgeTech theme, we give you the tools to create your own installer. This includes a content exporter, so you can export your own content from one version to another. Once your content is exported, these files will be included with the site installer creator that creates the installer. Then you can upload your installer somewhere else in your web host, and then the installer installs automatically latest WordPress version, the latest versions of plugins you type in the text area. It also installs premium plugins you can have or modified plugins needed with the theme. It installs automatically Genesis framework, WebgeTech theme, and also the demo site images. Then with the content importer, you can import all the demo site data in one click. It will also set all the settings for the demo site. We are only going to see how the site installer works and how to use the content importer, and finally make the site work correctly. Here is the content of the sold archive. It is the installer folder. It's called installer. Here in this first folder you have a style sheet and an image for the installer. It's nothing but the presentation of the installer. Then in the plugins folder you have to put your premium plugins if you have some. All these plugins have to be installed this way because they were modified to fit well with WebgeTech theme. These plugins will be extracted in the plugins folder of WordPress during the installation. Then there is the Genesis framework here, which will also be extracted during the installation. You have WebgeTech theme, which will be extracted during the installation, and also the images, which will be extracted during the installation. Then the other files are the installer main files. The basic file is the index file here, which we are going to use to install WebgeTech demo site. Then you have the installer settings, which is an XML file which sets the values of the form if you use the form several times. It's interesting, you change them. Then you have the import demo data and delete demo data files, and also a suppress install file for which there's no link. If you want to suppress the install you made. So for this file you have to call it directly in the browser address bar. Now let's use the installer to install WebgeTech demo site. Here we uploaded using FileZilla the installer folder in an empty folder called demo site. The upload process will take approximately 30 minutes because we also provide you all the images of the demo site. Once your folder is uploaded where you want to install WordPress, WordPress will be installed in at the root where the installer folder is. We are going to install WebgeTech demo site now. Here is the form. Here the database configuration is presented as password, but it will be clear data when you use the form yourself. All the values are put in the here in the installer setting XML file. So if you want the values to be already set when you use the form, you simply have to change the installer setting XML file and put your login credentials for your database. Then once you have set the database values for the creation of WordPress database, you can here change the table prefix that will be used for WordPress installation, and finally you can install online plugins. So here we install WP Super Cache plugin, which is very good for caching, and we are going to show you another plugin, for example theme check. So we go on WordPress plugins site, and here you can search for any plugin you need for your first install. So here we are searching for theme check. Here is the link, and all you need is the name here in the browser address bar. So you only need to copy paste this name separated by comma here. So we install WP Super Cache and theme check. All other plugins in the plugins folder will also automatically be installed. So we click on the install button here. The demo site is now installing. Once everything is installed, you simply have to fulfill this form this WordPress form to put the site title here, the username and password to connect to the admin dashboard. Here we set a very simple password for tutorial purpose, an email address, and here, as it is a test site for the tutorial, we don't allow search engine to index the site. Then you have to click the button Install WordPress, and now you're done. Everything is almost ready. Now you have to log in into the site. And here the first thing you have to do is to go to Appearance and Themes. Here you have to activate Genesis Framework, clicking Activate button here. Now Genesis is activated, the Genesis Framework, and then you have to activate WebgeTech theme, clicking the Activate button here. Now you have to activate the plugins that were installed. So we go on Install Plugins, select all the plugins here, and use the bulk action Activate. Please notice that theme check was installed here, and also WP Super Cache. Now you can go to the theme settings and import the demo data. So you have to click the Import Demo Data button here. Here the settings are all set for the theme. Once the import demo data is finished, you have to save the settings once. This is important. And finally, to make the demo site work, you have to go to Settings, Permalinks, and then save the settings. Now everything is ready and we can go on the demo site. Here is the demo site. As you can see, it is accessed using the demo site address. Everything was installed at the root here, the demo site folder on our web host. So here we reload. So the WordPress files are here. In the themes we have the Genesis framework and WebgeTech theme. In the plugins we have all the plugins that were in the plugins folder, and also the theme check and WP Super Cache plugins that were typed in the installer form. And we also have all the images here in the folders. We hope you will enjoy our product. This was a WebgeTech tutorial about WebgeTech theme demo site installation. Thanks for watching. If you have any question, please go to the support forum.